Hello and welcome to Belated Game Chats. My name is Alex and I'm here with my co-hosts Gabriel and Riley.
Hello there!
Hello, everyone.
Today we are here to offer an honest and thorough discussion of personal experiences playing video games firsthand. So this podcast creates a space to appreciate games and converse about their contribution to the gaming industry, culture, and our personal lives. So if you are wondering what a video game is about or wanting a full deep dive conversation, this show helps you make decisions as we review video games and share stories from our gaming adventures. Today we point our blade to Halo. Halo was originally developed by Bungie and now managed under 343 Industries. The consoles that this game is available to play on are Xbox and Steam. In the 26th century, humanity under the United Nations Space Command, or UNSC, colonized many worlds thanks to hyperspace travel. Tensions between the government and colonies desiring independence sparked violent wars. The UNSC sponsored by Spartan 2 project to create an elite group of enhanced super soldiers. In the year 2525, human worlds come under attack by an alien race known as the Covenant. After the Covenant invaded Reach, the UNSC's last major stronghold, besides Earth, Master Chief John 117 was left as one of the few remaining Spartans. Chief is accompanied by Cortana, an artificial intelligence. Players battle these aliens and attempt to uncover secrets of the Halo, a ring-shaped artificial world. So let's hop into our personal connections. So, Gabriel, do you want to start? When was the first time you played Halo? How did you get into it?
Oh my goodness. I think the first time that I ever saw a Halo game was back in the winter of 2009. My older brother Noah had gotten the Halo 3 Xbox 360, and obviously it came with Halo 3. So I know for like a week after Christmas, he was always playing Forge and multiplayer, and he would do that typical like big brother thing where like he'd like give me a controller that I could use and we would play together. I remember Halo 3, and then a couple years later it was Halo Reach. He would let me play on his Xbox. Those were the first two Halo games that I had ever interacted with.
Cool. Riley, how did you get into Halo?
I'm trying to remember which came first, but there were two separate instances that were like my first-ish introduction. The first, which I think actually happened first, was back when I did like soccer. The team that I was on at the end of every season had a party hosted at someone's house. And one year we went there, they were playing a custom game of Halo 4 Infection. And we had 4 controllers, and people were like swapping in and out playing the game. I think Halo 3 and 3 ODST were the first campaigns that I went through, but Halo 4 was the first like LAN party Halo game I experienced.
Nice. That's awesome. Similarly, the first time I played Halo was on the original Xbox. I played Halo 1 and 2 with my grandfather. And I would do it every summer because at the time I was like maybe 8 or 7. And at the time my parents didn't really like me playing violent games, especially ones with guns and violence and shooting aliens and stuff. So they were really like hyper worried about that as a 7-year-old child playing a game,
of course, yeah,
that is rated M at the time. The deal that I made with my grandparents and my parents is that I'm only allowed to play it with my grandfather only at the RV when I visited every summer. So I could go every summer. I would hop on the original Xbox with my grandfather. We would do split screen and we would just go into a custom map and just fight each other. That was my first experience of just exploring the custom maps in Halo 1 and 2 and just having a blast just shooting each other, running around, laughing. It was such a good time.
What a wholesome intro.
Yeah, I didn't even know there was like a campaign at all until way later. I guess one of the key memories is at the end of Halo 1 of driving that Warthog as everything is exploding behind me.
Yeah.
I think as a child that was the most intense thing that I had to go through, and just because I was a sucky driver as a kid. So I just kept falling off the map over and over, falling through holes, getting blasted in the face.
Well, the Halo 1 physics didn't help, man.
Yeah, but the satisfaction of getting to that ship at the very end, going off that ramp,
Yeah.
I was like, I finally made it! Let's transition into some fun topics of conversation of us playing Halo together. So I guess we can start off with Gabriel and I's first time interacting and first time meeting.
Oh boy.
We met in middle school of 6th grade, in English class, and we were randomly partnered for a journal assignment.
Mm-hmm.
When I read your assignment, it was about Halo,
Yep.
which you ended up reading to the class
I
too.
wrote a whole story about Halo 4.
That immediately was like, oh my god, this guy knows Halo. It was the first time I was like, I had something in common with somebody. And I think that just kickstarted our friendship, because I remember I was gone for vacation or something, and I was away from school from a couple of days, so I missed some class. But when I came back, I remember specifically you running up to me. You're like, Alex, you will never believe what happened when you were gone. And I was like, what? And I remember you were like hesitant to tell me at first because you were that excited. But you were like, oh my god, I got my own Xbox. And that was the Xbox 360. Do you want to explain what kind of Xbox you got?
It was a couple days before I saw you. My dad and I were in the car. I was like 11 years old. And we were coming back from the store, and when we pulled up to the stoplight outside my house, right before we would go into my neighborhood, he looked at me and he said, "Buddy, I bought something, and I'm going to tell you what it is, but we're going to have to talk about it." And I was like, "Okay, what happened?" And he looks at me and he tells me, "I got you an Xbox." Man, I screamed and I jumped up and down. I was so happy. But it wasn't just an Xbox. It finally comes in the mail. He had gotten the Halo 4 limited edition Xbox with a custom skin, 2 custom controllers. It had lights and sounds when you opened it. Literally the coolest thing that I ever could have asked for. And that was my first Xbox ever. And I could not wait to tell Alex about it. I was so stupid excited.
During class, I was like, holy crap, what's your gamer tag? We gotta play tonight. We gotta hop on Halo. We gotta play right now.
Yep.
I remember being so excited throughout the whole day of just coming back and hopping online for the first time.
Mm-hmm. He got me all the Halo games too. He got me Halo 1, 2, 3, and 4. It was, oh man, it was a great day.
I think fast forward a couple months or maybe like a year, Riley comes back to school, Gabriel moves away. That's when we sort of got Riley into the mix of Xbox and Halo.
Yeah.
And I remember playing like Griffball and stuff together.
Oh my god, don't even bring it up.
Riley, do you have any thoughts on that experience?
It took me a while to get an Xbox. It took me a while to convince my parents that was something that I needed. I got the Xbox, and I knew that in like 3 months, the Xbox One was going to come out.
Of course.
And my parents were like, you're going to get this one, and then in 3 months, you're going to need the next one. And that's just more money. But I was so desperate to play with you guys that they got me an Xbox 360. Definitely Halo 4 was one of the first games I put on there.
Do you remember the first time that we all played Halo together?
No. God, no.
Do you, Gabriel?
I remember it vaguely. We played a infection map in Halo 4 in Forge, and there was a very tall spire, and it's where we would do assassinations on each other. You and I had been doing them for like a year before that. But once Riley got there,
we'll come back to.
once we got some fresh meat, we decided to take it back and restart the cycle.
But my best memories of us playing were just all the custom games we did, like, at midnight to 3 a.m., where we were cackling on the floor uncontrollably in
All
pain,
those
laughing.
late nights when you didn't have any worries in the world except killing each other.
Yep.
Yeah, we would mess with the settings so we would get super speed, jump height like you were in space, and then like unlimited ammo, random Fiesta style, and we would just go around and just constantly just shoot each other over and over and over. And I remember like crazy things happening like in mid-air assassinations just from like jetpacking so far forward.
Yep.
Backtracking a little bit about assassinations, as Gabriel mentioned. Gabriel and I used to play Exile, right? Is that the map
Yep.
name?
Yep.
I don't know how I was so easily convinced and tricked over and over and over, but me being the nicest friend I am, I would... Yeah. I would place myself at the top of the tower so Gabriel could... Wait, do something. I want to do something cool for a minute. Just to assassinate me and kick me off the side, like freaking Sparta.
A knife right in the back and a foot in the back, and then there you go.
I
Your
just
body would go
flying all the way off the
Yep.
cliff. And the constant rockets to the face and snipers to the face that I would just line up right for you.
Well, so speaking of custom games, I feel like that could segue us into another talk about some moving forward towards Halo 5, talking about some of the custom games we used to get into.
Dun dun.
Yeah, Dun Dun is the name of it. It's sort of like a game that we made up. But also, we utilized what they called gladiator maps, which is like arenas. We would put on Fiesta random weapons. So every time you would respawn, you would get 2 different weapons, and they would be random. And the reason why we called it Dun Dun is because in an arena style, there's like 2 floors of different rooms. Every time you respawn, you would respawn in a random room. So you'll never be at the same place at the same time.
Right.
But when you know that somebody else is in the next room over, you can sort of just chase them by hopping over to room to room to room, getting closer and closer, and increasing that tension.
Yep.
So we were like, dun 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 dun. So that's why it's called Dun Dun, because we would get so close to each other with energy swords or gravity hammers that we would just chase each other over and over and over.
Oh my god, the worst was the rockets. A rocket could fill up an entire room, so wherever you are, no matter if you're in the corner or anywhere, if the rocket goes into that room, you're dead.
Just immediate spawn kills over and over, and the
Yep.
grenades being thrown over and over and over and over
Oh.
into
Yep,
one
yep,
hole. There was another game we used to play back in the day. This was like Halo Reach when we were playing the original Forge.
It was a racetrack that was a big loop, and there was a room that would spawn lots of vehicles, lots of cars and four-wheelers. And usually it would start with one person who was infected, and their job was to chase down these vehicles and to kill the other players to make them join their team until everybody was infected, and then technically you would win. And you would just drive around in a circle over and over and over again. And the speed, the gravity was decreased and the player speed was increased so that you could sprint at light speed. And if you would hit any little bump, you would go flying off the map. Or if you would get, someone would drive into you with one of the warthogs, you would get splattered and your body would fly off the side of the road.
I would love being one of the infected and running at the same miles per hour as the warthog, being able to hijack the person in the passenger seat and just ride along.
Yep. Oh my goodness. It makes me clench thinking about it. That was one of the scariest game types, to be honest.
Adding on to the list of custom games, we've played lots of parkour and puzzle maps, escape rooms.
The puzzle maps.
I think the other one to highlight would be Jenga.
The Jenga Tower. That was a good one.
I miss Jenga.
What did you guys like about it?
I just liked jumping from tower to tower as things are crumbling around me. That's just fun.
You would never play the game twice the exact same way. Every time you would play that game, something would go differently, and the tower would either break at the bottom and it would all fall into the ocean, or you would go piece by piece from the top all the way down, or you would go into the middle and blow everything out at the same time. It was always something different and something creative to try and win. And sometimes we would live and time would run out and then we'd be extra proud of ourselves. And I think that's definitely one of my like all-time favorite custom games that I've ever played with friends.
Definitely. For people listening, if you're confused on the concept, just imagine giant Jenga and being able to hop between these pieces as towers are falling around you while someone else is in a plane shooting at you.
And knocking everything over.
Really
And
make it
knocking
sound
everything
great.
over. Okay, we're reaching that point in the episode where we're going to try and discuss the meaning of this game. What does it mean to us? What does it mean to our friendship? Or even the culture of gaming as a whole? Halo has been something that has kept all of us in contact with each other, playing video games in general, but Halo specifically has been that game that we always come back to no matter what. And I feel like regardless if we like rage with multiplayer or we're not feeling the campaign anymore, we always come back to playing custom games together, finding different ways to get that feeling as we described from all the other times we've played together. And I think over the course of our friendship, over a decade plus and some, we've always had Halo as a sort of space to come together no matter where we are in the world, no matter how far away we are in terms of moving away in high school or moving away to go to college. I feel like Halo is always something that we can hang out as if we were together in real life, but online.
Yeah, it's comfortable. At least for me, it's a sense of familiarity and comfort. Like I can always depend on that game to I can sit and mindlessly play something, or I can play with friends. I wanted to piggyback off that, speaking about like, you know, how it keeps friendships connected and things. Like if it wasn't for Halo, I probably wouldn't be friends with either of you, to be honest.
Right.
And if it wasn't for Halo today, I probably wouldn't have nearly as good as a relationship as I do with either of you because I had to move away so long ago. It's weird now thinking that I have lived 3 times as long further away from you all than I ever did living right down the street. And I'd say that our friendship is better now ever than it was because we've been able to rely on that series and we've had the Xbox to keep us connected and to keep our friendship, you know, fresh and fun. I did want to say about the meaning of Halo, at least in terms of like broadly speaking about video game culture. I think that Halo is the Xbox staple. I mean, when Xbox released, Halo was its flagship title. Like Halo and Xbox, Master Chief and the Xbox, those two things always went together. And I think that Halo left a huge mark on gaming. I mean, it's one of the most iconic, recognizable games ever, anywhere. I mean, if you show someone a picture of Big Green Guy's helmet, they might call him Big Green Guy, but they know exactly where he's from. And right. I just think it's such an iconic series that has left such an impact, not even on just gaming, but on personal relationships and on a personal level that people can hold to it, and it brings them comfort and familiarity like it does for me and it does for you both. I think Halo truly is a special game series. I don't think you find something like that often. What do you feel about it, Halo, Riley?
I wanted to go back and mention like the custom games, such a huge comfort to just playing with us.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not, other people that we need to fight against or fight with and get mad at. And there's not objectives or computer AI elites who stomp on our face. It's just us and we're goofing around.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people have that opinion that friends come and go and nobody stays around. But, I mean, I feel like all of us have had that experience where friends do go.
Yeah,
but
of course.
I feel that you both have never left. And I think
never will, baby.
Xbox and Halo is a big contribution to that, but also all of our effort to stay connected and play together.
Yeah.
We did it. We won at friendship.
We won
We
at
beat
friendship.
One legendary.
And if you made it this far into the episode, this is the part where we have to score it. So I'm going to rate it a 10 out of 10 legendary rank. This game redefines the genre. It is marked in the history books, and it just means so much to us. And I feel like anything but a 10 would be not correct.
Riley, what's your rank?
I want to give it a 10 just because it's like it does dictionary definition define a genre, and it is marked, like you said, as, you know, the staple of the Xbox. Even though I think as a series the games have gotten worse over time. I think it's trying to drag itself down, but I just want to give it a 10. It's just too chill. It's just too easy to have fun.
It's just too
It's
chill.
just too chill. It's just too...
That's a solid rating, Riley. That's solid. Now, I'm going to be very open and honest with my ranking. I do not give it a 10. I give Halo 2, 3, Reach, and 4 a 10. I give Halo 1 and 5 maybe like an 8. I think as a series, just broadly speaking, I would give Halo a 9. I would say it's mythical. I would say that for anyone that owns an Xbox, Halo is something that you absolutely should have. And while I do think that it helped to define the entire genre of FPS shooters, I think as Riley was saying, I think with later installments, it's kind of lost that magic that it had when the earlier Halos were coming out. I think they're still good for their own unique reasons, but I think a solid 9 or even a 9.5 is where I would truthfully rank it. I think a 10 is just maybe a little too much, but 9.5 definitely. It's one of my favorite series of all time.
Are you locked in at 9.5?
I am.
Then that leaves us with Halo, a 9.8 out of 10. And if you made it this far into the show, thank you so much for listening to Bladed Game Chats, and thank you so much, Gabriel and Riley, for hosting with me. Please go follow them down in the description, and tune in next time where we point our blade to the next video game and find out what they mean to you. Bye!